Okay, guys, we are live. For those listening at home, welcome to the Life on the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon muser this evening. Tonight, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Arc Dream Publishing's very cool Delta Green role-playing game. And, whoop, seems like my dog poked her head in here. With me tonight are the stars of Wednesday night. I will go in the order that I've got you guys on the screen here. Starting with Jeff. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Simon Stone, who is a NSA analyst.
Very nice. Next up is Dave.
Yeah, that's me, Dave, and I'm playing Dr. Angela Brackett, who is a CDC scientist.
Nice. Next up is Hobbs.
Hey everybody, I am Jason Hobbs, and I am playing Special Agent Riley Crown.
And last but not least is Adam.
Hey, I'm Adam, playing Special Agent Bill Taggart, who is slowly turning into an old curmudgeon.
Nice. Okay, so last session was pretty eventful. And you know what a better DM would do is to do a little recap, but you guys are blessed with a Bush League DM. Let's start with a cutscene. So our scene opens on a dark and foreboding cavern. The cavern is lit by these thick brass braziers that blaze with this fire. We can hear the sound of the roaring flames, and there is a massive open cavern, incredibly well lit, shockingly well lit, in fact, than what we would expect from this kind of locale. And standing in the middle of this cavern is a towering figure. This is a corpulent and disgusting figure. Stands about probably 20 feet tall. Humanoid in rough proportions, but in a distorted way, almost cartoonish, one might say. There's a large jutting horn that comes from the top of its head. It's wearing a disgusting and soiled loincloth, and it carries with it a big staff in its hand. And nearby, standing in some small groups, there are what look like could be smaller offspring of this same thing. Where this enormous figure stands, it seems as if it's on a different color. There's bare cave everywhere except for where it stands, which seems to be fashioned into some kind of shrine. There does appear to be two ways out of this cavern. One deeper in, past where this creature is, and one leading down from this winding, crudely made staircase. And down this staircase come 5 figures shrouded in shadow. As they step into the light, we see that they are sentient by the accoutrements and armor that they have on, but almost equally horrific. One is an enormous, muscular figure that wears these robes that seem almost too small for it to wear. Thick green skin, big jutting tusks coming out of its mouth, and yellowed eyes that dance with kind of an evil, depths of evil knowledge. Next to it is a small goblin, long pointed green ears, a hooked nose, and wearing impossibly large and spined armor, carrying an enormous shield, too big for this little figure to carry, but somehow he manages. And in his other hand, an enormous, jagged, and serrated sword. Next comes a figure who seems as if they were some kind of walking corpse, clothed in some kind of leather or scale armor. And walking next to it, a large, fearsome-looking cat. And then a fourth figure storming down is an enormous, seeming combination of man and bull, armored in this shining plate armor, a distinguished and almost divine counterpoint to the goblin's heavy armor. The 4 of these figures make their way down, and 1 remains in shadow. The 4 of them take their place. They all study the enormous figure standing before them. And the little goblin turns and says to the rest of the group, okay, guys, this is a 3-stage boss. First stage is going to be a lot of spawns. Second stage is going to be tank and spank. And then the final stage, we just got to burn them down. So burn all your cooldowns, burn all your disposables or consumables, and we got it. Okay? We're good to go? All right. Let's do this! And all 4 of the figures go racing in, leaving 1 back in shadow. What follows is a brutal and fearsome battle. Something fit for the ages, but something beyond my ability to describe. And what the 4 figures take up arms against is a seeming endless wave of these smaller, disgusting, but powerful figures. And the large figure seems unaffected by the forces that are being arrayed against it. Our 4 inhuman heroes struggle to try and stay alive against the power of this thing. And in the midst of this intense melee, the creature raises its arms up, and some kind of red arcing energy begins to interrupt or to arc between its 2 outstretched meaty hands. And at that point, the goblin turns around and says, all right, now! And nothing happens. Now, Simon! And we see that figure standing in the shadows now has a little symbol over his head that reads in blue lettering, Simon. The figures that we see now become pixelated, and it becomes clear that we are in a video game. And we cut now to the screen on which this video game is being played, and we see Simon staring at your phone. Now, Jeff, why don't you give us, this is in Simon's kind of, his sanctum sanctorum, his man cave, his place where he goes to play video games and be his best nerdy self. What does this place look like?
So, like, this would be at his apartment?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I think he's got a small apartment, so it's just sort of like a 1-bedroom. And I think that he is got posters all over the wall, like not, traditional posters, but like nice movie posters. And he's got a lot of video games and gaming posters, covers of comic books, sort of all placed all over the wall so that there's basically no white wall left anywhere. And other than that, in the middle of the room, he's just sort of got this comfortable chair and a computer desk with his TV on it and his laptop, and that's about it.
We see white lettering appear on the bottom of our screen that says 2 weeks ago. Now, so what Simon's doing, he's got his, I'm assuming he's got multiple screens as well, because he's from what you described to me, he's a pretty hardcore gamer. Yeah. He has his game screen open, which he's now ignoring. But what we can see in the chat thing is that he has been contacted by someone. Someone in-game was asking you, not someone in your group, someone from elsewhere in the game world, was asking whether you had, whether you were up for a real adventure. And you assumed, I think likely that it was, porn or some kind of, thing. But that's when a email showed up in your personal email, one of them, that said, well, are you? And you were checking that.
And that's when paying attention to the game.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that really brought you out of the game, because I think you're pretty focused, right? Your job when you're in a dungeon.
Absolutely.
But it's when a text message showed up on your phone. and said real adventure awaits. Are you game? What would you have done?
I think I would respond just with, who is this? How did you get this number?
What the response is how did you get access? How did you access the chat log on Dark Server 6? And I don't know what the fuck that is. It's he was making some reference.
Something that he shouldn't have been doing, basically.
Yeah, it's part of your conspiracy theory stuff.
Right. I don't know if I'd answer that. It might be incriminating.
So you get then your Facebook shows up and there's a message that shows up and it's a screenshot from that dark web, chat group. And it was putting together the what do you call it? The connections you were making about World of Warcraft and like praying to Yogg-Saron or whatever it was.
Right. So I guess then at this point you would, what kind of an adventure are you proposing?
Something where you can find, and then this shows up in your text message again, your phone. Something where you can learn real secrets. And then in your email, something where you can see who pulls the strings for real.
I would answer with, okay, you've piqued my interest.
In your Instagram feed, private message, good. In your second email address, the one that you don't tell people about, that's only used for making purchases,
yeah,
a ticket shows up for a plane flight to North Dakota.
Well, okay.
So we leave that scene with you sort of hovering over the, download the PDF, to then the scene on, let's see here. Here it is. The Crockett Morris home. So what you guys had all received, and actually yours is the only one that doesn't actually have hand lettering on it, I think, Simon. Remember that you guys had traveled to or flown into the airport, in I can't remember what the name of the town was actually, somewhere in North Dakota. Oh, it was in was it Fargo? No, was it Fargo? Was it? Okay, yeah. So you flew into Fargo, and then you made your way through to New Rockford, North Dakota. You passed through thriving New Rockford, and let's take a quick reminder of what the prairie town and metropolis, or prairie town in New Rockford looks like. You passed through the prairies, which you can see on your screen there, guys. You followed a road to the Crockett Morris town, and there was a driver who was taking you guys down there, who was insisting on taking care of your luggage. You guys, the three of you, Dr. Brackett, Simon, and Special Agent Crown, made your way to the front door. You had never met this person before, but Dr. Brackett and Special Agent Crown, you guys had met David Crockett Morris before, and that's what he looked like then. Since then, however, apparently there has been some change, because the man who answered the door looked like this. 70 pounds lighter, clearly ill, unkempt, and not nearly the dashing kind of man that you have met. Special Agent Taggart, you were sort of doing the look around the house, and then you had noticed that there were cameras, because you noticed there was one outside the front door, and you made your way around the house as well too. And we described how there was basically untended farmland stretching out basically in pretty much every direction. This farm, the Crockett Morris farm, seems to have seen better days. So he answers the door and says, y'all came. I appreciate that. Is Bill not with you?
Welcome to the corner.
Hey there, Bill.
Hey, just checking out your pastures.
Yeah. I I haven't been able to keep them up much. Not since Mom and Dad passed. He kind of looks around. Why don't you all come inside? We'll have a chat. Simon, nice to meet you in person, son. Put her there. And he puts his hand out to shake your hand.
I'll reach out, but a little skeptically.
Sure. He gives you that, in spite of how sick and how emaciated he is, he still has a pretty strong grip. And he gives you that McConaughey, grin as well, too, to try to set you at ease. Why don't you come on inside? Now, the interior of the house is fairly simple. It's really not a very big place. It does have a lot of windows and natural light, but really it consists of maybe 3-4 rooms on the ground floor and maybe a couple of rooms upstairs, you would think. None of them are particularly big. Everything has that kind of, inherited from your parents kind of look to it. There's a lot of furniture made out of wood, not like prefab materials. There's, doilies and stuff that are sitting. It does seem like if he inherited this place from his parents, he's really made no effort in the rooms that you're seeing to make it his own.
Right.
He says, well, why don't we head in the back? And as he brings you in, I think you all probably noticed this, but he tucks. He had behind his back not a revolver, a pistol. He just sticks it into these really baggy fitting jeans he's got at the back, and then he turns and puts on this oxygen tube over his ears and grabs the the handle and starts dragging it back towards a room at the back. It's the kind of accoutrement you would expect from an octogenarian. What are you guys going to do?
I'm kind of a to the point guy. Why did you bring us here?
Angela, would you kindly give me... sorry, Hobbs. One sec here.
I guess I'm not doing anything.
I think I'm going to do this. No, you're fucking not.
No, Hobbs, you're going to wait, because apparently Angela needs to do something right now.
Yeah, I need to make a quick... give me... I think it's a medicine roll. Is that the one I'm on? Yes, medicine, please.
If you know what's wrong with them.
I'm a scientist. I'm not a doctor.
Okay. What... there's two things that you would guess, just from his appearance and his smell, to be honest, is meth or Gulf War syndrome.
Or we could ask him.
So, Hobbs, what did Riley say?
He said, I'm more to the point than anything. Why did you bring us here?
I would have thought that was obvious there, Crown, or Riley. I need your help, and I can offer something in return.
No offense, Mr. Morris, but you look beyond my help.
It's not why you're here. And Dr. Brackett is not really why I brought you here either. I've already had the best care. I've had the best care that can be had. And there's more important fish to fry, as it were. Come on back. And you guys head your head back into this room if you follow him. And he's got kind of like an office. It looks like he sort of has disassembled someone's bedroom on the main floor and has kind of pushed shit off in the corner and then set up an office for himself in this room. No, where everything else looks undisturbed, this does seem pretty fucking high tech. Like Simon, you can tell that the computers that he's got set up here, these are some pretty powerful things, and he has a tack trunk that's open and full of weaponry as well, which maybe is not super unusual for the backcountry North Dakota. But this is the collection of kind of like military grade weaponry that he has in there does seem pretty, intentional or unusual, I suppose, in the office. So he turns and kind of sits down in the chair, and he kind of falls down into it in the way that old folks or people not well do. He says, "Whew. How was the flight out?"
Was fine.
We're in North Dakota. It's as good as it could be. Nothing that there's wrong in anything at this place, but
Bill scoffs at that. Like, North Dakota.
What? I suppose, Riley, you want me to get down to brass tacks, so let's talk. Dr. Brackett, I know you. Y'all have got spent some of your time before looking into things that just didn't sit right with any of you. Riley, with your partner, Dr. Brackett, the samples that I shared with you. And Simon, I can't begin to count the things that you've been looking into. And Bill, I know this is a bit much for you. I got a gut feeling that you're the right man for this, and same way I was about the you and the Bureau. I'm just gonna have to trust that I know what I'm talking about on this. Now, what all y'all are looking for is something that I was unsuccessfully, it seems, trying to surreptitiously investigate. You see, I've been working the last couple of years for a company called AgriWealth. Now, I take it that you may or may not be familiar with AgriWealth. They do tend to shy away from the spotlight, as it were. Some of their ownership is what you might call questionable, and the country of origin for some of them may not be of particular interest or would not be beneficial given their activities. There's an organization that you all may have suspected, but you know that thing that the crazy radio hosts talk about, and that the tinfoil hats say is running all things? Well, turns
secret
out
organizations.
turns out there's a grain of truth in some of that, and the organization that I've been involved with is something that, we're on the side of the angels, and seems that my time with them is done, and I'm hoping that you folks you might help things out a little more. Plus, all the answers that you're all looking for, AgriWealth's going to be a place where some of those answers or the steps towards them will be. What do you guys say? He is, he sort of, you can get the sense that he's measuring what your responses are. What are each of your characters kind of thinking of all this?
my initial reaction would be I don't really want any part of it, but deep down I know that this is exactly what I thought might be the case. So it would be a reluctant acceptance, I think.
Hobbs, there's a school of screenwriting that says that the best way to make for character drama is to set up tension between wants and needs. And you just gave us a perfect example of that. That's awesome. What are
like I don't want, but I need. Is that what you're saying?
I just the way that you described it struck me as like that is fucking awesome. Adam, what's Bill thinking?
Bill's going to say, well, I serve to protect people. I don't serve to protect corporations. If I'm getting jerked around and I have to deal with corporate bullshit, I'm out. But if I'm helping to protect people, I'm in.
That's he kind of nods, says that's all what we're about, Bill, and really we're the only ones that can. What is the doctor thinking of all this?
This isn't like that that cinematic one with Will Smith and the little gun and the aliens and stuff. Is that what you're? Because that was pretty silly. Come on, like let's be realistic.
I assure you, doctor, nothing silly going on here. And you can see he actually looks a little sad. And then it sort of passes and he goes back to a sort of, jovial kind of nature. What about you, Simon? What's going through his head?
Well, I think what Simon is thinking is like, why is he being so cryptic about everything? Like, is this some kind of a game? Is he dying? Is it some kind of,
That's right, because he's got no frame of reference.
Move to like put us on some kind of a crazy witch hunt or Easter egg hunt for his own amusement.
Yeah.
So he's pretty skeptical of the whole thing.
Okay.
He's seen no evidence yet other than, his ability to, hack into sort of all of his social media at the same time.
Okay. So what do the adults in the room have to say then? Because everyone else is older than Simon, so.
Well, Angela's still waiting for something to actually materialize that's not just him telling us a story, because he can tell us whatever he wants. So,
well, you did remember you received that sample, and the sample that your supervisor, the results of it immediately took away that completely defied any kind of biological or whatever. So,
right, but yeah. Again, that was back home and at her lab, and like what are we looking at here? We're looking at an old house, a guy who's aging rapidly or falling apart. Like right now, she's just waiting for him to.
Okay, well here's what I'm going to suggest is that from the way you described your character before, that would be the thing that would be. This is the only person who seems to have answers to that particular question that drove her. So that is something that you might want to be considering.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said I have, but at the same time, he's dragged her away from all of the stuff that she does and her family and everything, and we've got a guy who's sickly sitting in an old house.
Yeah.
So.
So Riley will finally will speak up again. So you're finally going to tell me what happened to Wallery?
I can't tell you what happened to him, but I can tell you that Agriwealth would have the answers. Let me just find something, and he reaches down and goes shuffling through this like banker's box that he's got there, and it seems like there's a bunch of them that are sort of stuffed around his table or his desk. He pulls it out and he puts it down. Kind of says, "All right, now this," and it's a file folder he's pulled out, and you can see that it actually has your name on it. Like briefly, you see it's written on there. This here, and he puts out a like a printout from Google Maps or what looks like a more it's like a satellite picture, basically, something like a really high quality kind of Google Maps thing. This here is where the firefight happened, right? And it does correspond to the part of the Smoky Mountains, as you know, right down in here. And he puts the map down elsewhere. And Aggerwealth had a facility not too far off from there. What you saw was a byproduct of what they were up to at that facility.
What about all the missing people?
Same thing. That byproduct was responsible for all of those deaths.
So Crown will look through the stuff that he has, but it's obvious he's already realized that this is what he was looking for and has silently acquiesced to do whatever it is that Morris has in mind.
Okay. So as a refresher too, you guys had looked into Aggerwealth beforehand, and what you found was that it was, basically a small scale secretive, or not secretive, but small scale kind of Monsanto type place involved with agricultural research.
Right.
Is Angela standing anywhere near Riley?
Sure.
All
Take
right
a look.
there.
Yeah.
Peek over at what he's looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks exactly like what I described. It's like satellite photos, and there's printouts of the facility. There's like news release, not a news release. There wouldn't be that. There would be surveillance photos of the Aggerwealth facility. And he says that though that's closed down now anyway. They moved operations to something near Norfolk.
It would take a long time to go through all this. What do you want from us?
Well, what I want to do is I want to go public with this information. See, what I got here is plenty of information about what was going on there. But unfortunately, they seem to have gotten to me before I could do anything to stop what they were up to. You see, that organization that I work for, we're tasked with dealing with things that are bigger and that are outside the speciality of your respective organizations.
What organization are you talking about?
Well, and he takes out a cell phone and kind of plunks it down on the counter. And you can tell it's not a cell phone; it's a sat phone. It says, "This here's got a number to my contact person who brought me in, and person who's been shepherding me, and her name's Mrs. Green." Now, in the course of my looking around at Aggerwealth, the organization helped me secure a place with Aggerwealth as their senior biochemist. That was about 3 years ago. And over the course of that time, I've managed to accumulate a pretty hefty amount of plans, information about that organization. But seems that someone may have picked me up. See, the two who are running Aggerwealth, the CEO is named Catherine Altone, and her husband, a minor celebrity named Eddie, he, or failed actor, I suppose, he was helping to run the organization as well. Turns out that Catherine and Eddie are a little more careful on their data security than I took them to be. Because you see, it seems that they did notice it, and someone involved with the funding behind AgriWealth, well, they didn't like me snooping.
What are you missing to go public, I guess, would be the next question then.
It ain't public. It's stopping them, Riley. These are the folks responsible for your partner's death, those other deaths on there, indirectly, albeit. They knew. And if you don't stop them, then things are going to get a hell of a lot worse. Dr. Brackett, what I sent you was something I was able to get out of that facility. That's what they're working on.
They're creating that?
I think creating may not be the best. They are producing that.
That's not good.
What these two are up to, it seems like they're on the verge of something big. And that's why they called in. See, I noticed in the weeks before I had to relocate to mom and pop's place, I did notice someone following me. Tall fella, thin, pale, and he seemed to be around the office, and he seemed to be lurking around my place in Norfolk. But it wasn't until I saw him at a party that they had 2 weeks back about shutting down the U.S. labs and moving a number of the researchers overseas. Saw him again. And I'm pretty sure that's when they got to me.
What did they do to you exactly? I can't really tell.
You might be better placed to tell me, but I am guessing some kind of organophosphate ricin. So what you know is like he's fucking dead then. This is something that kills. It's an incredibly lethal poison. Actually, Simon, you might know this. Ricin was used in that pellet. There was a famous assassination in London in the 70s. I think it was 60s or 70s, where a guy got poked with a ricin pill through an umbrella and died walking across London Bridge.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing for anybody to safely handle. If he's suffering from ricin poison, it's just a matter of time for him.
Right.
What needs to happen is find out precisely what the Altones are up to and stop it, because it's going to get real ugly for a lot of people. And we don't have time for jurisdiction. We don't have time for subpoenas. You understand, Riley. When it's time to act, you do need to act, right?
I do, Morris. I do.
What is everyone doing right now? Like, describe for me where you are in the room and what you're thinking of.
Bill's just casually walking around, looking at the place, kind of assessing it.
Okay.
Riley's hand is slowly going into his pocket, and then after a few moments, he pulls out a familiar silver Zippo, slowly closes it and opens it. So
Okay.
Clicking sound, and now he's kind of already realized that he's decided to help and do things without due process, which is normally anathema to him.
Okay.
He's trying to figure out what the other people are doing and kind of looking them over and trying to gauge what their thoughts are.
Okay. What about Dr. Brackett?
Well, she's thinking back to the toxicity of the sample and some of the things that she'd learned in that brief time, and she's looking at all the boxes of information that are sitting around her, and the story that he's woven and what she's experienced in seeing the sample and how it got stripped from her so quickly. She's starting to see that maybe there's some merit to his story. And
so as you're looking around and thinking, actually, Dr. Brackett, you do notice something, with all this, weaponry and high-tech gear and whatever, there is one thing that does seem kind of out of place in that room. And that is, one sec here. A 25 centimeter by 38 centimeter by 15 centimeter mahogany box with a lid on it that's stored kind of next to where all the guns are. There's that big black kind of tack crate that's laying open with all the weaponry in it, and strewn on the nightstand. There's some like a duffel bag full of cash, but then there's this really fucking old, like Victorian looking to your eyes, chest that's set up there. There is a lid, like it seems to fold down from the front, and there is a lock, like an old tarnished kind of lock at the top. You're looking at that. Simon, what are you looking at?
Simon is probably searching things up on his phone here.
Okay, there's actually I don't think
there's any signal out here. I think we already established.
Oh, really? At all?
No, not really. No. Right. There is a Wi-Fi.
Did you get the Wi-Fi password? It's probably encrypted.
There is Wi-Fi.
He'll ask him. He'll actually ask him for the Wi-Fi password.
He kind of smiles at you. There's a grin. And he's like, Simon, I thought that I could rely on you to find out passwords. And he kind of grins. And then there's this like breaking sound, and then all of you are covered in a warm mist. And it takes you a moment to realize that David Crockett Morris's head has just vaporized. And that's when the after report comes into you of a sniper rifle. A rifle going off. Now, the first thing I need you guys all to do is to give me a sanity check, please. This is against what is it here? Violence. I don't think anyone is inured to violence. So here we go, guys. This is a normal sanity check. Bill, you're okay?
I'm used to it. Typical Boston.
Riley, no problem.
Is there a sanity?
Violence?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, you just roll sanity normally. Oh, Simon is freaking out.
Sanity.
Angela is okay too. All right. So, Simon, let's see here.
I think what's freaking him out is how calm everybody is, considering that his head was just blown off by some kind of a sniper or something.
Oh, this is sort of like a slow-mo pause here as the DM was looking up rules. So, let's see here.
Maybe Angela hasn't hasn't registered yet.
Okay. So, Simon, oh my God, would you give me a D6 roll, please? This is a good opportunity for us to talk about sanity loss. 2. Okay, so you will be losing 2 points of sanity. That's from your temp sanity, not your max.
Like from your current?
Yes, your current sanity. Now, what you can do is project that onto one of your bonds if you want. What you do is you spend a willpower point, you roll 1d4, and then you reduce your willpower by that amount and the bond by that amount, and you don't lose that sanity.
I think in this case, I'll just lose the sanity for this
Okay.
for the first thing.
And because you lost, so this is actually not violence, it's helplessness. Go ahead and put a tick next to helplessness because you lost sanity but did not suffer temporary insanity. So this is what just happened, guys. One of the windows in this room has shattered. This guy's head has fucking exploded. What do you guys do?
Draw my weapon.
Oh,
Hide.
Like, down, everybody down, and tries to go for Dr. Angela because she's the woman, and he's very conservative to try, knock her down so no one else can get shot by the sniper rifle.
Okay. So, Simon, what are you doing?
He's now laying on the floor.
Yep. You're on the floor and kind of like, what the fuck? Adam, what does Bill do then? You said he draws weapon. Does he drop as well?
So yeah, he'll draw his weapon and then duck behind cover, not dropping to the floor prone, but just like behind the couch crouched.
Okay. Now, as traumatized as Simon is, there's a weird bit of clarity that cuts through. Simon, as you look up to that seat where his now headless body is slowly kind of sliding down in the chair, you can see that the stack for his computer is sitting up exposed on the desk.
Mm.
And judging from where the thing was shot, that could be a tempting target for a sniper.
I'll attempt to grab it and pull it down.
Okay. Why don't you give me a dexterity check, please? See how quick you can be.
What are you pulling down? The
Computer stack, the tower.
tower.
Okay, so you get up there. That means you sort of scramble and do the two special agents say anything as this kid is scrambling up?
Yeah, I would just be like, "Stay down! There's a sniper. Are you crazy?"
Bill's not going to say anything because he sees the value in evidence.
Okay, so you as you grab it, you sort of like tumble forward. At first, you sort of like push it down, and then there's the wall where this thing was standing in front of it just fucking explodes, and then you're able to get it down. I actually rolled a crit failure on the shot, so you not only did it miss you, you actually got a benefit out of it. So you sort of like fall down, and then you quickly kind of like pull the cord, and the computer stack falls down on top of you, and you've got it against your chest now. What are you guys gonna do?
So Riley will pull his weapon and they'll yell for Taggart. I'll be like, "Taggart, do you have eyes on the shooter? What can you see? Where's our driver?"
You guys left him outside. He was gonna be dealing with your bags.
So would it be an alertness check to see if I can tell where, like if I can see anything out the windows?
Well, first off, are you going to poke your head up out the window? Because that sounds like an awesome plan.
I don't know. I don't know if my character, so the procedures obviously, but there's like, I'm a street cop procedure kind of guy. I'm not a sniper rifle kind of guy.
No, that's the thing. You're totally out of your depth here. From what you guys have said, no one's got military experience. Riley, you've obviously been in, firefights, at least one before, but this, this is fucking Ruby Ridge kind of stuff, right?
Is it shot from the front of the building?
This is back. The shot would have come from somewhere around the back from where that window is.
Okay. So at the kind of like the back door type thing, the shot came from?
Yeah.
I think I might run out the front door and try to sweep around the house to get a look from the outside, using the house as cover.
Okay. So you crawl out to the hallway. When is it that you stand up? Like you're crawling right to the front door and then kind of like picking up and throwing the front door open?
Yeah, I'm crouched to the front door, yeah.
So you guys see Bill do this. What are you guys doing?
So I kind of pictured, we went to the back room, didn't we? So yeah, he's going through the door to the front door, or we can see the front door where we are, or
You can you could exit this room, and there's a little hallway leading up to where the front door is.
Do we see like a monitor where all the cameras would have been feeding, or would that have been his computer monitor? Can we tell?
It would have been his computer monitor, and I think the connection is let me know. You know what, Jeff, give me a percentile roll. We're just gonna do luck. I think it's 50-50 chance that the cord has come out of the monitor, so maybe it's just a matter of hooking that back up again.
Wait, what do you want me to roll?
Just roll. I think if you have a luck stat on there or a luck check. Let's see. Boom. Sorry. Just taking a look at all here.
Isn't it power? Would it be power?
No, in Call of Cthulhu, it's power, but in this, luck is just 50-50. And I'm not sure if there's an actual
Luck button.
Yeah, a luck button for it. So why don't we just give me a percentile roll? Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Big money. 25. Okay, yeah. So the it's actually still plugged in. And it does appear that there are, one of the windows. That's actually a pretty good roll, too. So I think actually, Hobbs, you can actually look up and see that the security camera footage is still actually being displayed. Clearly, he had just opened that when you guys got there to see where you guys were. So you look out and you can't see anybody around, although you can see that the door to the limo that took you guys here is sitting open, and there's 1 foot that's kind of like attached to a leg, but there's a foot stepping out of the thing. I figured that I could clarify because it's a horror game.
Yeah,
He seems alive.
it is kind of a weird game, so yeah, that's a good detail to know.
Okay, so there's 1 foot sitting outside the passenger seat, the driver's door, and you're kind of looking at it like that's weird. It's like as if he's started to come out, or is just resting his foot outside there.
Okay, so that isn't good.
So you said there was a big case of weapons or something here, right?
There is, yeah.
Simon's going to go over to that and look for the biggest gun that's in that thing.
Okay, there's probably effectively like an AR-15 in there, like a converted AR-15.
He's going to pull that thing out, and he's going to say to these guys, he's going to say, "I ain't going to die here," and he's just going to go to like near the window or whatever sort of where he thinks the shot came from, and start spraying some bullets outside.
If you stay down, you won't die.
Like this, like out the window and firing.
So you get over there. There's another luck check. I'm going to see if the safety's on.
Okay.
Yep, safety's off. You're firing this thing out the window blind. Hobbs, Riley knows there's no fucking chance of that.
You guys aren't doing anything, basically.
Even if there was a barn and there was a broadside. Sorry.
Okay.
Are there is there a smoke grenade or anything in there?
There is a shot. 1 second here. So that gun is blown out of your hands, Simon, and you take 3 points of damage from that. So your hands are like one of your finger was on the trigger. Your fingers getting wrenched out. This suddenly, went from like comic to really like you really, really quite badly got hurt by this thing. We'll cut to Bill. Bill, you throw the door open and you peek out, and you can see that the vehicle is still parked in that circular kind of driveway there. The door is open, and you can see that he's got 1 foot, just as I described to Hobbs. What are you doing?
I'm going to go around the side of the building where I think I kind of like peer around the corner. I can maybe get a look at.
So you get over there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do contested alertness checks. So what you want to do is you want to succeed, but you want to roll lower than what I do. If I fail, then you win. Oh, fuck.
Probably 1. I rolled pretty high.
Yeah, and I rolled really, really low. Okay. But that doesn't mean he hits automatically. It just means I get to make a shot here. So let's see. Oh, fuck. 19. Okay, so you poke your head around the corner. Oh, my God. please tell me that you have more than 10 health.
New character, Bill Taggart II.
I have 14 health.
Thank God. Phew. So at time of recording, I was talking to a friend at the store today, at a friendly local gaming store, and I haven't watched it yet, but I guess there's Matt Colville just kicked off his new campaign on his channel, and it's got a high body count. So we would be in good company there. But okay, so you are hit, and Bill, have you been shot before or not? I mean, not Adam.
I'm going to say Bill's been shot, but in a vest.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So this spins you around like a fucking top, and you hit the ground, and you're in a bit of shock right now because you took 10 points of damage. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I
So that
I'll crawl back to wherever hiding place I can get to.
I think you guys inside. Give me all three of you guys. Give me an alertness check.
Okay, I kind of have an idea as well. So
Everyone?
alertness.
Yes, please. Everyone who's not been shot. Simon's
Oh,
focused
I
on his hand right now.
I had a critical fail because I already have a plan.
Oh my gosh.
Alertness.
Oh, you know the critical failure is going to be, Hobbs? You can hear someone staggering into the house, and you draw your weapon.
Okay.
Someone's coming in. Oh man! So, Dr. Brackett, I think you're just kind of what is she doing right now? What is going through her mind?
Oh, I wrote something up there so I wouldn't forget. So she's thinking of two things right now. If I get out of here, I need to bring that wooden box with me for some reason. And she's also looking for anything of importance, like files or whatnot, that she might want to grab.
There's tons of files, and a lot of them, like this guy was a biochemist, right? So there's lots of stuff here. And you can see the computer stack that Simon had pulled down from on top of there. It seemed like there was lots of info in there as well. Okay, so how do we, Bill? You're making your way back to everyone else?
I'm wheezing just like Hobbs's dying friend. Flashbacks.
So,
oh God. So Hobbs,
Riley was just about to he was looking for something to block the line of the sight from the sniper because there's always a hutch or something in these kind of rooms that he could have pushed across the window, but then he hears someone coming in. So yeah, he kind of whips his gun down and gets ready to, thinking that they had someone coming in from the other side.
So how does Bill kind of slough his way in here? I think because we're not going to kill him in this session because of one crit. What'll happen is I think Riley will get a shot off, but maybe Bill is coming in too low and you sort of shoot just above his head.
Yeah, I'll be crawling in, clutching my chest, wherever I'm shot.
Okay. Okay, and then then something else fucking shoots and you sort of instinctively duck down. I need Riley and Bill to give me one more sanity check for violence here.
I don't want to die in North Dakota.
Nobody does.
I think the insert better than to live there joke is
Ow.
I know. Okay, let's see here. Riley, you're okay. Bill, you're okay too. So your hearts are pounding. And you sort of look up and both of you, I don't think you say anything, but you have this moment when you both realize this was just a fuck up, in the middle of a situation. What do you guys do?
So do I see anything that we can cover the line of sight? And I'm going to say, hey kid, I have two questions, I guess. Can I see anything to cover the line of sight? And is it possible that where the sniper, where we think he is, could he have shot the driver in the car, or is the house in the way?
It's tough to say because if the guy, depending on how far away the guy is, depending on the sort of angle, he could have had an angle on the driver as well.
But he would have to have been a long distance away then. So
here's the thing you do know is every report of that rifle, you can account for sort of the shot.
Okay.
Oh, except for that one that clipped Bill. Although seeing Bill now that he got clipped, you realize, okay, there's not been enough shots fired to account for shooting the driver as well. There is definitely, because there's like a big mattress that he's put up. Remember, this used to be a bedroom that Crockett Morris sort of repurposed. So yeah, you could crawl across and drag that in there. That would definitely block that window.
Okay, so we think that there must be either he got like stabbed or something, or there has to be another shooter. Like, Bill, did you get shot from the same direction?
He did, yeah.
Okay. So only one shooter, but we don't know what happened to the driver. So if we block this line of sight, then we could at least get to the front of the house, or at least look around here, maybe get a weapon where I could get an AR with a scope or something, or maybe like a smoke grenade or something to block the guy's line of sight, and we could get to the car to get away, or we could try and make well, actually, we should probably get Dr. Brackett over there to look at Bill. I guess.
I'm not a medical doctor.
Yeah, you're closer than the rest of us, I hope,
Yeah.
because I'm not very good.
She does know a lot about biology, so she might not be able to. Hey, I can ascertain it's a gunshot wound, and I know if it hit something.
Let me see about first aid, because I can't remember if that's a
One of the
thing.
skills. It is one of the
It's a skill.
skills.
Oh, it is one of the skills. Okay, so let's take a look and see what the skill does.
Bill's got first aid.
Everyone has a natural 10 in first aid. Everybody.
That's a good.
Put pressure
starting.
on this. Just put pressure on this. Wrap something around it.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
everybody gets
extent of knowledge.
Here we go. First aid. Healing 55. So what you could do. Okay, you could do a first aid test to stabilize him that immediately heals 1d4 damage. A critical success doubles that amount. A fumble inflicts 1d4 damage. That's 4
Screw
points
up,
of,
you can kill Bill.
4 hit points left.
Anybody want to risk trying to save him?
Yeah. Okay, so what are you going to do?
Did I get the window blocked or no?
Yes, you're sort of doing that. Angela, someone was yelling, look at him, look at him. What's Simon doing during this? That rifle seems to have been broken, but there's plenty more rifles.
Can you use that computer to find him to see, like, because I mean they seem like pretty high-end cameras.
Can you use the cameras? Yeah. Get on the computer and use those cameras to spot him.
Okay, so once
Angela will go over and check on Bill.
Sure, you're able to sort of like pull the keyboard down too, Simon. So you've now got the keyboard and what do you call it, and the stack next to you. So you sort of pull that, and I guess the mouse as well. And you're give me a computers check. This will be easy for you as well too. Partly because you're so fucking skilled, and partly because it's just a matter of sort of making you roll because it's finding the right way of repositioning the cameras.
Computers.
Excuse me. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. So you're able to get in there, and it'll take a moment or so to start angling one of the cameras up. Dave, did you say Angela was doing something?
Yeah, she's going to go over and check on Bill.
Okay. So why don't you give us? It looks like, hehe has been shot. He's bleeding like a motherfucker, and he's barely able to move one arm.
Okay,
So
well, she'll do some basic first aid on him.
okay. Now, have you got him to with your medicines? Your medicine score is what, like an 80?
No, I've a 70 in biology.
Do you have any in medicine?
No.
Awesome.
Bill pulls out a picture of his daughter and
He didn't tell me to build a cleric. Just kidding. All right, here goes basic human first aid knowledge.
Oh man! So you're saying, "What do I do? What do I do?" And your hands are just covered in blood, and he seems to be like, "There's no end to this right now."
Yeah. Sorry, Bill.
So, Simon, you're able to get the cameras up. Once you get the mattress in place, there's like 2 more shots that kind of burst through the mattress. But Simon, you're in time to sort of get the cameras up, and you guys can see the muzzle flash from the rifle, and it seems to be like somewhere on the far side of one of the fields. Because remember, these are pretty much barren, and like on one of the kind of dried up or like bare windbreaks, like the row of trees that would be planted between fields. That's where the shot is coming from. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'll try and tell everyone, like, specify then how the location to everyone.
Okay, what weapons are available in there?
Pistols. I mean, anything short of like a grenade launcher is pretty much available in there. There's hunting rifles. There's a sniper rifle. There's a assault rifle. Well, there's a broken assault rifle.
There was only one assault rifle then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's only the one AR-15 in there.
Do they have any like short range scopes or anything? And how far out is the guy?
Hunting rifle. In there. So this guy would be. Let's see here. He is about 1,000 meters away.
Holy shit! Yeah, so that's not really a hunting rifle range. That's a good.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm going to correct that. He's about 500 meters away.
Okay.
So I was looking at the wrong thing.
Is there any Barrett late 50s in there?
There are not.
I guess I'll take the hunting rifle, and because it's a 2-story building, right?
The thing that was broken was the AR-15. Yeah, there's probably a sniper rifle in there as well.
Yeah, I'm not. It's like, what kind of weapon is that? Is that a small weapon, heavy weapon? Well, I was trying to.
Still would use a firearms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs, and I'm gonna say I'll try and keep him. If you guys can maybe get the vehicle or get whatever else we need out of here and get ready to go. Make sure Bill doesn't die, and we'll see what we can do. Are there like any smoke grenades or anything like that? Like
there
flare, maybe popping smoke for a helicopter or anything like that, where we could, continue to break his line of sight and then maybe jump into the car.
Give me a chance to quote Predator in session 2.
What?
I knew you were the right addition to this game.
What are you talking about?
Get to the chopper.
Oh.
Okay, so
I didn't say get to the chopper.
It's close enough for me. There's 2 films that I need to be about 5 steps away from quoting Aliens or Predator. So,
well, I can understand that.
Okay, so yeah, there probably is a smoke grenade of some kind you could pop in. You want to deploy that.
Yeah, I think we should go for the vehicle. Gather what you can. Go for the vehicle. If I can get a shot on him, I think I can take him out. But I wouldn't say that this is my favoriteest thing to do in the whole world.
Okay.
Because we're a long ways from even like there's no hospitals or anything. This probably has the best health things right here. I guess there might be a veterinarian in town or something. New Rockford didn't seem like a booming metropolis.
No, there may be like well, actually, and with the
clinic or something,
healthcare costs and shit like that. There's probably a central. There's a town where there's like a central hospital or regional hospital rather. So yeah, that's yeah, it's gonna take a while to get to where you need to an actual hospital.
I'm going to yell for the kid to try and make sure he doesn't move. Make sure, keep an eye on him if you can.
Okay.
Let me know if he moves.
Do we have any kind of a radio communication or anything we could do?
The tac box.
Is there anything in there?
Yeah, tac box has got tactical like headsets.
Okay, I'll grab a headset and put it on and hand one to Riley. So
you put it on. These things, yeah. So you've got a headset in your ear. You make your way up with this massive sniper rifle. Describe for me how you want to approach this. There's going to be a window, like a room with a window on the upper floor that would be facing the direction of the sniper. But how do you sort of approach that window then?
Well, the idea would be I'm not going to have a lot of time, so I kind of know like his general area.
Okay.
Let's bracket is bracket. The thing to do actually is have either one headset or two or three.
There's probably as many, like, as enough for each of you guys to use.
Okay, awesome. So maybe bracket, you should come up and go in one of the other windows in one of the other rooms at the same time I am, so he doesn't know what window we are in. And so like shift the curtains or something, and then we'll try and coordinate at the same time. I'll try and get a beat on the guy, and he won't know which window we're at. What do you think?
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
But don't,
I'll
put
just
yourself
lay
in
down.
danger. Stay low.
I want to
I'll
point
be on
out,
the ground. Don't you worry.
Bracket, you've managed to keep yourself safe from one more sanity check, because I probably should have made you make a sanity check when you were doing that first aid.
Sure.
No,
I can do it right now.
I forgot, so you gain the benefit of my mistake.
All right. Well, I'll be in a different room from the gunshots, hopefully.
So you're going to go over. So describe for me how you're going to sort of try and draw fire then.
Well, she's going to get up the stairs and basically crawl along the ground.
Yep.
And then get to a window facing the direction we think the shooter is in. And
You guys
she's going
go
to
past-
literally lay on her
the
stomach
door?
and shake the bottom of the curtain.
The
Or I'll
front
wait until
door-
he's... Yeah.
The front door is wide open as you walk past it, and you can see it's that car is stopped in the driveway. Both of you sort of spare a look at it and then make your way upstairs.
Do I see any blood in the car or anything?
Do you take a moment to take a look?
As I'm closing the door, yes.
Look at the door. It's like I said, like you can't see him, but it looks like he's sitting in the passenger or the driver's seat with the door open and one foot kind of resting outside the door.
I call out to him. What was his name?
I was hoping you'd remember. I want to say Mikey or something like that.
Marvin, are you there?
Yeah. Actually, you've forgotten. No, it's not my mistake. It's that you generally didn't remember his name. So what is it? You call it the name. There's no response.
Okay, he's been shot. I close the door.
There's no evidence of him being shot. Like there's no damage in the windows or anything like that. Okay. So boom, doors closed.
Bigger fish to fry.
You close the door and you guys head upstairs. So while this is going on, Bill, what are you doing? Besides bleeding?
Trying not to die.
Yeah, basically just trying not to die, keeping pressure on the wound. He's kind of assessing. He's like looking at each one of the people, like from Simon to Dr. Brackett to Special Agent Crown, to kind of gauge their sort of emotional levels and see how they're doing, because he knows that he's sort of useless right now.
Yep. So you got this bloodied picture of your daughters in your hand as well. Simon, what are you doing during this time? Oh, you're monitoring.
Yeah, I'm monitoring the camera to see if I can see if he moves, so I can notify them on the.
And he does. He gets up and he sort of like scampers down another like 50 or.
He's closing in.
Yeah. Well, no, not towards you guys, like along the edge. And
okay.
then, would you give me an alertness check, please, Simon?
Alertness. Yep. Not used to this sheet yet. Oh, there it is. Not the most alert.
If I hear that he's moving, if he says that he's moving, I'm going to try and get up there, because that gives me an opportunity to, get a beat on him.
So yeah, you heard his moving. So Angela sort of futzing around with the door and calling out to the driver, and you're like, "Fuck!" and go turn and run up to the top floor. You run well, describe for me. I don't want to position your character where you don't want to be. How do you approach the window? There's probably those diaphanous kind of white curtains that don't really block anything, but sort of are there.
Yeah, I'm going to ask, because he's still moving.
Yeah, He is. Yeah. So give me an alertness check.
So I'm just going to pretty much just go up there and get in the best form that I can, and then get prepared to alertness. Oop, a trivial.
Okay. You look. You're trying to find where the fuck is he? How did he? Simon's telling you. You're sort of this back and forth between the two of you. He's running in this direction, and you're like, where? Where is he? I can't. So what do you want to do? Do you want to try and roll again, which means that maybe something might happen, or do you do something different?
I guess I'm gonna make sure I'm at a lower point, like, so I'll be like in the bottom corner, trying to pan out, trying to find him here, not just like standing wide up in front of the whole window, and trying to catch sight of him. And if I have to, like, if I can't see him from this direction, then I'm going to shift over low. I'm not going to, like, get up in front of the window again. Just kind of, and then I'm going to say, do the distraction bracket.
Distraction?
And here's what I'm going to, First, I'm going to drop a dice.
Yes, we win.
The DM's been disarmed. Quick, now, attack.
Quick, while he has no dice.
Okay, so you guys both get upstairs, and first thing I'm going to get you to do, Hobbs, is give me another alertness check, and I'm going to make one as well. See who does better. Oh,
how?
So that is a critical success.
Oh, okay, I'm like, what happened here? I'm confused.
So what you see, you kind of line up, and you see a clear view of this guy. You got a view. It's a kind of like a 3/4 perspective kind of angle on him, but you could get down like right. His center mass is available. This is as good a shot as you're going to get. I'm going to give you. Hold on here. You, I think you get a bonus if you spend an action aiming, and that does seem to be what this guy is doing. And
he's not aiming at me, though. He must be aiming at something else.
He's aiming at something else. You're not quite sure. Actually, it's a critical shot. You get the sense you can see him slowly moving. He's trying to pick a target.
But he's not up here. He's still like down, like maybe where the mattress is or something.
Not seen you.
All right, yeah. I'll take a moment to take a breath and aim.
Plus 20 to hit. And then at this rate, so basically that'll net out to being a normal shot, because it would have been a hard shot because of the range, and then so go ahead and make a shot. Here we go. First
shot of the game. I mean, that we're shooting, not getting shot at.
Hopefully it's not our last shot of the game.
Oh my goodness.
So it's shot and it misses. Hits the ground. So then it's him. And that's a failure by 2 stages. So he's able to, he looks up, and what you can actually see, because you can see through the scope, you can picture this. Mm-hmm. This guy is very tall, or at least he seems to be really tall and thin, pale, like you would guess like maybe Slavic features. He gets up, turns, and he runs. Would you make a... Let's see here. Give me a alertness check again as well. No. Okay. So you're trying to track him in the scope, and you're not moving fast enough. Angela, you're still kind of shaking the, things. What are you saying over the comms, guys?
I'm going to say he's running. I guess we can't really go anywhere with Bill, though. So he's running away. Oh, I lost him. So I don't. He did get up, though, right? And I lost him now. That's what you're saying? Yeah, you lost him. So you have to try and find him again. All right. So I'm going to ask Simon if he has eyes on or anything like that. Sure. Simon, give me another alertness check.
Alertness. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is one of those stats that you should have maybe highlighted during character creation, that we're going to roll it all the time. This is something that's so good.
It's so much better if you're bad at stuff in a horror game. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So then the thing is I actually rolled a crit failure for him on his stealth. So he's trying to be sneaky. and it has like you can sort of picture in the camera, you can see this guy sort of peeking around a corner, and he's getting his rifle again ready, and he's getting ready to sort of like duck out and try and take aim again. And because of his crit failure and your easy success, you're able to describe which tree it is he's behind. So
Perfect.
Hobbs, why don't you give me I'll give you plus 20. This will be an easy alertness check. I'll see if you can spot him. Angela, you're still shaking curtains.
Period.
You got eyes.
It's not a regular shaky.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I asked Simon how Bill's looking.
Bill, do you have a headset in too?
Bill, Bill, you have a headset on?
Yeah, he put his headset. He also put his daughter's picture away and drew his gun because he's not going to go out without a fight.
So, Hobbs, you can see where he is. You can see like the rifle. He's around the tree right now, but you see the rifle or the barrel of his gun, I should say, poking out like it, and then he slowly out. You do have another shot now if you want.
Yeah, I was gonna wait until he comes out to shoot, so I'll aim and then fire.
Okay. Go ahead, make a shot. Oh, the tree explodes as your gun hits it.
Oh, it wasn't a plus 20 this time. It was only because of the.
Remember, it gets out.
I thought so. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I'm rolling
yeah.
terrible on the shots here. I have a good firearms, but not happening, people.
Okay, so he seems to be making.
Or it's just our lives on the line.
Bill's bleeding out. It's okay.
See the guy. I'm not going to make you make alertness checks. You can see this. This guy draws. Well, I do need you to make alertness. So Simon and Riley, make alertness checks for me again. But what you can see is that he sprints kind of like around the other side of the tree and begins running in towards the house. And he's got a pistol drawn now and is just sort of carrying the rifle. And he's covering this distance pretty fucking quickly.
What's happening, guys?
I don't know.
Riley, what do you want?
Every level of
I'm going to
alertness,
yell
like,
out. I'm going to say, hey, he's coming in. Get ready. And he seems fast.
Okay.
Okay.
He's still like wide out in the open right now.
I'm going to take a shot at him.
Yeah, it'll be a snapshot, unfortunately, and he is moving pretty quick. So it is going to be, unfortunately, a hard shot.
All right. Cool.
Here we go.
We'll see what happens.
Or do you want to just?
Yeah.
Hey!
There we go.
Boom! It's a headshot right there.
The first thing, this gives us an opportunity to point out a rule called lethality. So a lot of weapons can potentially just outright fucking kill you. So a sniper rifle has a 20% lethality rate. So Hobbs, give me a 2d10 roll, but give me a percentile roll. If it isn't lethal, then you just add the numbers together, and that's how much damage it does.
Okay.
12. So it's not a lethal shot, but 12 points of damage. So this guy is hit, and basically, like, he's thrown off balance and like sprawls in the overgrown weeds that make up the field. Yep. What's Angela's doing some accounting. Now is the perfect time to do my taxes.
Well, no, does she hear and understand what's going on? Because a guy getting shot with that kind of power and would he scream out and that he's been injured, or?
You may want to make use of your alertness skill then, not your accounting skill.
Oh, did I hit accounting?
Yes.
Yes, she's keeping track of things right now. I don't know how you guys are doing, but budgeting's not on track.
I'm bored, Kev. Bleep, 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 bleep.
All right, let's gather back downstairs, and we'll approach carefully. And you seem like you're interested in gathering as much as you can. We'll keep Bill with you, and Simon, you keep eyes on this guy and keep panning around, making sure nobody else is here, because I don't know where his vehicle is. And I guess I'll go out and make sure he's not find out what's going on. I'll bring him in if we can.
Okay. So you go down, Bill, you're bleeding. Like, you're still able to function. You're just, 4 hits off from death. No, you're free to go out as
Can we
well
look
if
for
you like.
can we look for like a medicine kit or a first aid kit in that room?
For sure, a first aid kit. Is
Maybe that'll help.
stuff. Yeah.
Under injuries, I clicked arm crippled because that seemed to apply the best.
Sure. Yeah. That works. Okay. Well, there's an actual rule we have for crippling injuries and shit afterwards. So, but yeah. So you are inside. Crown. You make your way down to the house. Are you taking your rifle out? Or are you taking your gun or what?
My how far away is he now? Because he was traveling pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, he's probably about like into the field, maybe about like, I don't know, 200 meters.
I'll just sling it. I'm sure it's got a sling, so I'll have it with me in case I need it. But yeah, I'm mostly just going to carry my pistol out. Okay. Do you want to cover me, Taggart, or no? You better stay. You better just relax. You better sit this one out. Take some
to follow wherever he needs to go, but
take some pine, buddy.
Okay. As you get to the edge, the trouble, like the field looks very much like what we see in the picture here, and it's just full of maybe like thigh high scrub grass, and when you look, like you can't actually see necessarily where you can judge, like guess where he is in relation to the house from where you were, but you actually can't see where he's fallen.
I'll ask Simon to help guide me in if he can.
Okay.
Again,
You can try.
Okay, Simon, give me an alertness check. I just want to see if you notice something.
Click the button that doesn't work for you.
Yes. Failure. Okay. All right.
He's dead.
Yeah, he can't. He's like, yeah, he's fallen, but he can't.
You didn't see him get up at least, so I'm gonna approach him using cover.
Okay. So you're like going to crouch down there. What you see is
I'm
kind of
like moved like away from the house and then behind a tree, maybe kind of where I think he is. I'm going to use the cover if I can to approach him, not just walk out.
Well, again, like what you see in is kind of as someone who grew up in the Canadian prairies, there really is unfortunately not a lot of cover. So,
okay, yeah, okay.
It's what you see in the picture.
Tree line, but the tree line's behind him, right?
Yeah, like the trees were built as a windbreak to keep the fields from just fucking blown away, basically.
Okay.
Right. So, and that's where he was on the far side of the field at the windbreak, shooting in. But you're able to make your way through this, and it's this like brownish, tan colored, dry brush that you're making your way through. As you're making your way through the brush too, why don't you give me an alertness check?
So I'm thinking that maybe somehow since this guy came and he's also seems like the guy that Morris was talking about, all I'm thinking about is that night when Wallery was killed. Yep. As I have my pistol up ready to put this guy down if he gets back up.
Okay. So you're making your way out, and like when you first started walking towards where you think his body was, you're fairly confident you know where it is. But then, like as soon as you get into the field and you sort of look back at the house for just a split second and look back to judge yourself, you're really second guessing where you were. You're like, where the fuck was it? And you're thinking like, was it more to my left? Did I pass it? But you do hear some rustling.
Oh boy.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to squat down on my haunches. Which direction was the rustling coming from?
So you squat down. So you're sort of like completely...
Just going to wait and see, myself.
Yeah, completely surrounded by this this grass. You're trying to see which direction is sort of coming from.
And I'm going to ask Simon if he can see anything quietly. Sorry.
Okay. Simon?
Yep.
There's nowhere for this guy to go.
What do you want me to do?
Alertness?
You want me to click alertness again?
Please. What is your alertness anyway?
20.
Awesome. Okay, so you're still trying to operate this thing, and like it's tough to tell one area. You don't know where the hell this guy is, and as soon as you reposition the camera, it's impossible to try and figure out where it was in the first place. So you're just like, this is all fucking North Dakota. Like, I don't know.
It all looks the same.
He's in North Dakota.
At one point,
Every camera pointing in the house.
Sorry, Dave, you turned to the max headroom there for a second.
Looks like
I'm glad it wasn't just me. I thought,
Like, oh, crap, having Oh, Dave, can you hear us? Oh, Dave's getting a little bit of a lag spike here.
Yeah,
Let's hear you back, Dave.
Yep.
We didn't hear anything of what you said.
I just thought I'd fuck with you.
Oh, and now he's gone all together.
I heard
We'll
every
come back
fourth word maybe.
Okay, so then, and he's gone all together. So what Riley,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
you think that the rustling came from like a little further up and then just like to your right or left?
All right, so I'm going to pop up and run about 10 meters and then squat down to move over to see if I can see anything or if he tries to shoot me or anything like that as I try to, get closer to him and see if I can find him.
Okay, so as you're sort of running along, your foot hits something.
Oh, boy.
And you stagger for a bit, and then you turn around and look down. And what you see is a rifle with little flecks of blood on it.
Mm-hmm. All right, shit.
You're looking around.
Yeah, I'm going to squat down, though.
Okay. You squat down.
Let me know if you see him, kid. I like to call Simon kid.
I'm on my phone playing a game. I think
So
he's dead.
what you can see, Riley, is I just made a check for you because I should be making these secret. On the far side of the field, near where that tree is, there's someone who's coming out of the scrub and making a break over the kind of like the ridge to get to the far side. It's how the fuck did he get all the way over there?
Shit. He seems to be moving around pretty good after taking this full torso shot.
Oh yeah, like that should have killed him for sure. What are you doing?
Well, I don't want to get this guy to get away, so I'm gonna try and use the rifle.
Okay. So you draw the rifle, you take aim, the distance and the angle. I'm going to make it an impossible shot. That'll go down to a hard shot with your aiming.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and make another shot.
All right, 50-50, boys.
Go. Oh! Oh! Boom! All right.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Criticals in this game are pretty
That was
fucking deadly. Where is it? Where is it?
Done dropped your gun when you jumped through the window. No one knows that, Eddie Murphy.
No. Sorry.
Apparently not.
Ooh. Okay, so double damage. So first, roll your percentile again to see if the lethality, and then if not, so it's 26 damage. So basically, this guy's fucking head, cantaloupes, explodes out and drops down. Feeling pretty good. What are you gonna do?
All right, I'm gonna say perps down, breathe easy. I'm gonna see where he was running to. I'm gonna grab this other rifle.
I'm gonna look for the medicine kit or the first aid kit and see if we can do something with Bill. Hey Simon, can you look up how to address a gunshot wound on your phone?
The Google knows.
Google Notes. Maybe there's a
Yeah,
YouTube video you can pull up for us.
He'll do that actually.
Sorry, I'm just checking something here.
Like a YouTube step-by-step video on how to suture a wound.
Yeah. What to do when someone you know has been shot.
Okay. Give me one sec here. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So, sorry, Hobbs, what did you say you're going to do?
I'm grabbing the other rifle, and then I'm gonna jog over to where he was running to see if I can find out where he was trying to go, or
Sure.
the information we can off of him.
Okay.
I
So you
let
go
the other
running
guys
over.
know. Yeah.
Tim. This is now you're keeping a clear eye on where he fell. So you're not going to lose that. So you're sort of like running along. Simon, you can see this as he's, Cronus is like almost sprinting across the field to get towards where this thing, or this guy fell. As you come running
Simon's looking up how to dress a gunshot wound.
There is an internet connection on this computer.
Yeah,
So-
that's what he's doing. He's
Sure. So, if he's going to follow like a YouTube instruction, I'll give you. I'll make it easy. First aid check. So, why don't you give me a first aid check at easy?
all right.
I'll give you a first aid check. I don't know how easy it'll be.
Oh no, this will be Simon. Oh, well, Angela, you've already tried, so it would actually have to be Simon.
Oh, I can't do it? Okay.
Simon, there you go.
He did it.
So give me a D4 roll, and that's how much health you regained there, Bill.
Ooh.
This kid seems to actually be a little helpful. All right. So as you're
Do it,
bandaging up our fallen agent, Kron, you come running up on this body, and as you get closer to it, there's a smell that hits you like, honestly, it's like fucking ammonia. You know when you mix ammonia and water?
No, it's not one of my favorite drinks.
Friday nights are special.
Running up on this, and there's a stink that hits you like a chemically pungent smell.
Formaldehyde or something.
Yeah, or some kind of chemical, like something. It's not something you're familiar. Like, it doesn't smell like cleaning product or something like that. Like, it's a pungent. Like, it's the way that nature tells you, like, don't consume or touch or smell this stuff. And as you walk up on this body, I need you to kindly give me one more sanity check. And this time, it is versus the unnatural. Okay. Nice. Yeah, so that's a great success. So once again, you walk up, and in place of this body, which was wearing like dark, dark, either dark tan or dark navy or black kind of jacket, slacks, instead of filling this clothing with a body, there is a stinking pile of, for lack of a better term, mold or ooze of some kind.
So we got something really weird up here. You better bring bracket. Is there a car or anything?
You're looking around, and it doesn't seem to be anything. Give me a... Yeah, I think, well, you don't need to make a roll for it. If you're looking around, you take the sniper rifle out, and you kind of use the scope, and it looks like there is a car parked fairly far down, like a crossroad on the far side of this field. You're keeping an eye around, and like there doesn't seem to be anyone else on any of these other roads. And it's in a rough direction of where this guy was going.
So Riley hunkers down, doesn't really touch anything, but just kind of looks at it, says, you might want to check on the driver too.
Okay. So as you guys are sort of getting ready, Bill, you're feeling a little bit better than what you were. Simon, what are you thinking right now? This is a lot for you to take in, I think, for a day.
Absolutely. This is very far out of his normal circumstance.
Real adventure, though.
Yeah, that wasn't a lie.
What are you guys going to do?
I'll tell.
I'm gonna grab that wooden box.
Try to grab the box.
Yeah.
Okay, so the box is fairly. Yeah, it's kind of heavy. And I'm trying to think here what the actual size would be in inches because I can't think in centimeters. So 25 centimeters is what?
It's about 10 inches.
10 inches, okay. So 10 inches by about, so it's like almost a foot by a foot by, so it's really not that big then. It's maybe about like yay big, right? And there is a lock on the box, and you do need to open the lock in order to get access to it. So while Angela's
Did our
doing
host
that,
have keys?
what's that?
Did our host have keys?
Are you gonna look for that, or are you gonna? Because it looks like Crown has asked for you to come outside.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I'll leave it to you. Let's role play this through. So you guys are, Crown is hunkered down on the outskirts of the property, basically.
Has something over his mouth while he's just kind of trying to figure out what the hell is happening.
Okay.
Tiger's going to say, Brackett, you get to Crown. I'll check on the driver. Simon, you keep monitoring those cameras, maybe. And then he's going to head out the door, pistol
Okay.
drawn.
Okay.
I'll put the box down next with Simon and say, this box doesn't fit in this room. It's different than everything else that's here. It's locked. See if you can get it open, and I'll go out and. Is there like a? No, she's not going to bother with a gun.
Okay.
Probably more of a liability with a gun in her hand than anything.
I think it's reasonable to think that she would have spared a moment to look at it and think like maybe what am I thinking? I don't even know how to use it.
That's totally exactly what it was. It was like, do I need to go out there with a weapon? You know what? That's a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, Simon, what are you doing while you got a minute or two while they're making their way out to the far side of the field? What are you doing?
He is diligently watching the cameras. He's flipping between them, all the angles, all the different cameras, and just making sure that there is nobody, not someone else or anything that could be, coming to get them. He's quite fearful for his life at this point.
Okay. Cool. So then you guys, you sort of like, I guess in the film version of our campaign, the camera would slowly track to Bill and Angela as they're making their way across the field to join Riley.
I think Bill's going to check on the driver.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. So you make your way over to the driver, and there's a smell that you're not really accustomed to as you walk over, and you look on the around the corner, and you're sort of actually. I guess first thing I need to make. Could you kindly give me another sanity check?
Sure. If it's normal, I succeeded.
Then you succeeded. So you kind of like, oh, and I think you see it before Angela does. The driver's in there, this 50-year-old or 50s white guy, but his throat is basically like a hinge now. Part of it has been torn out and gone to the side, and in the front of his, like I got that black suit on, so most of that sort of hides the stain, but his white shirt underneath it is completely sopping red with blood.
I'll
Am I
radio.
making a check too? Or are you keeping me from looking at the scene?
Yeah, she's walking up behind you, Bill.
I'll radio say the driver's throats are ripped out.
So Angela, you can't see this, and you can kind of like picture your character standing there. There's that like, tinted, with the sun coming down on the windshield, so you can see his body is in there, but you can't really make out any detail because of the reflection. The driver's door has tinting on it, so you can't see past that, but all you can see is his foot out there. So I think your imagination is kind of going wild right now. What do you do?
Did he say that over the comm?
Yeah, you would have heard it, I think. Yeah, I'm assuming you guys have your comms open at this point.
Did you say his throat was ripped out?
Yeah. Can I do a forensics check to see if I can identify how the wound was made?
I think so. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a sec here.
Do you need me to take a look?
What's
Sure.
your forensics score?
50.
Okay, so forensics is really more for like collecting info. Medicine would be really.
What about biology?
No, biology is more.
Because I'm identifying the wounds, like if you're identifying whether it's like a 9 millimeter gunshot wound or.
Right, and what that would be is. Oh, sure. Well, yeah, no, it says that determine details about a weapon used or the accelerant that started a fire. So yeah, go. What's your? Sorry, what was your forensic score again?
50.
50. So there's some baseline of information you're going to get out of this as well, but let's make a roll as well to see if you're able to sort of piece anything further together.
Sure.
Okay,
Nope.
so baseline stuff. So here's what you do know. It's not a slashing wound. It's not a gunshot wound. Like even a shotgun to the neck would not do this kind of damage. You're like, it's something. The wound is so. It's like they tore away what was his throat.
I'll just say no weapon I've seen has done this.
Dr. Brackett, did you want to give it a try again?
Well, I'll
If you're going to take a look, I'm going to
look over.
Check.
Yeah, you know what? I'll do a sanity check.
Go. Oh.
Going insane, one bit at a time.
Oh. Second fail check today. So, this will be one. Give me a D3 roll. You thought you were ready for it, but then you saw this, and it just kind of like, in spite of the heat of the sun, you just feel a chill running through you. Okay, so it'll be 1 point of sanity loss for violence. You can project that onto one of your bonds if you want by spending a willpower point, or you can just take the hit and then tick off 1 tick on violence.
Like how does that mechanic work in the fiction?
So in the fiction, what it is that you're basically becoming less attached to, like, the things you're being exposed to affects your relationship with your bond.
Okay.
It's to model the slow degeneration and the detachment that you're getting as you're exposed to more horrible shit. How bad, how your life home kind of falls apart.
Okay, cool.
So sorry, Dr. Rocket, what do you want to do? You want to project that on one of your bonds? You want to take the hit?
I took the hit on violence.
Okay, so your sanity goes down by 1, and you tick 1 on violence. All right. So, and give me a forensics check. Let's see if you can suss anything out from this. Oh, yeah. So what you can see is there are clearly 4 kind of like puncture points on the far side of the throat. Something tore this guy's throat out.
Almost like a claw, maybe? Or
just a fucking really strong grip. Like, flesh is tough, but it's like anything else. If you squeeze an orange tightly enough, your fingers will go into it.
Right. So I'll describe that to the guys. This looks vaguely like something tore through it. There's 4 puncture wounds, almost like fingers or claws or something that, basically ripped through this guy's throat.
Riley, you have a flashback to that dark shack in the Smoky Mountains.
Mm-hmm. I already figured that, yeah.
What are you guys going to do? Riley is
Bill,
still standing.
are you okay, Bill? To go all that way out?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go check on Mr. Crown.
Okay. So you guys make your way across, and you come across this thing. Now, when you're not exposed to the same thing over, we're making a lot of sanity checks tonight, and this is not always going to be the case. But you guys
Sure, it isn't.
traumatic fucking day for you guys. Violence and the what do you call it? The unnatural. I need both Bill and Dr. Brackett to give me an unnatural or a sanity check again. This is time versus unnatural. Yes, sanity and alertness. There's an old joke about like skill is in Call of Cthulhu, and it's running.
Whoa, look at us.
So basically, when you guys get there, you can hear Riley is, you know, he maybe doesn't notice right away because he basically says, "I got him, buddy. I got him."
Nice. Very nice. Okay.
God.
Okay. So you guys come up and you see exactly what I described for Riley. There's this like man-shaped pile of kind of like blackened or grayish fungus or ooze or something. Like it's just, and it smells.
Odd.
That's awesome. This is why she fits in it. She seems like a normal, house mom or something like that. But as soon as she's confronted with the unnatural, she's like, intriguing.
Yeah, she's already thinking, do I take samples? How can I get this to a lab? And she's running ideas in her head, like, trying to remember what the that special sample that our now dead guest had sent me. There was some toxicity there, some sulfite issues, I believe, and
Okay.
So,
think you okay out here? I wouldn't mind taking Special Agent Taggart in the car and going to get this guy's car. It's over there.
yeah, we don't think there's another threat, right?
No. I'll hand the other sniper rifle over to Taggart.
Don't take it.
So we cut back to Simon. And Simon, you've been watching all this through the cameras and over the headsets. And am I correct in thinking that sort of at this moment Simon would be trying to find some way to sort of like normalize? You mentioned he was like playing games and stuff like that.
Yeah, like he is exactly.
So I think what he does is he tries to default into like game mode, and he sort of like you're trying to make sense of all this. Like there's this fucking headless corpse sitting next to you. There's blood all over the floor that belongs to inside Bill, and then you look over at that box, and you remember the key. You're like, well, this is a quest, and you start sort of like rooting around and stuff, trying to find a key that matches something as old as that, and in amongst this gore, you're just kind of like idly, like as if you were looking for like a lost paperclip or something like that at your desk. And then you find finally a key that looks old and it looks weathered like what they saw, or that looks like it might fit in that box. Did you want to try and? Okay. You go over and it fits right inside that. Like, huh, quest achieved. You turn it and it unlocks the door or the latch, and then this thing sort of falls out. And it's only about half the box that is, covered by this flap or this lid or whatever. And within it, there are 4 glass vials that are sort of like stored in like a velvet kind of lining. This would be like you would guess like an ancient way or like a way of storing and transporting samples, because in each of the vials there is a thick blackish substance of some kind. And did you want to try and take, actually, when you look at it, It looks like these things have handwritten labels on them.
I'll try to read them, I guess.
Drink me.
PBR.
So you take it out, and actually, like when you take it out of the, because you have to like, sort of like turn it to get it out. When you take it out, you see it's actually like a dark, that when the light catches it, it's a very dark reddish, slight red color. It's thick and viscous. And you're looking around, one of the 4 vials is less full than the others, but the others are pretty full. And the handwritten lettering on it is in this very like, like very ornate script. It's definitely handwritten. And what it says is sample 34. And then there's a line. And then there's 4 more numbers. 1894. What does that mean? We'll find
Nothing to
out
me.
next time. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of Delta Green Veritas Vos Liberabit. Exciting developments in this session. What other secrets does the Morris Crockett farm hold? And what will Agent Crown find in their attacker's car? I guess we'll have to find out in 2 weeks' time. So for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. We will also be posting more information on this in the MeWe group for the Delta Green Veritas Vos Liberabit group, which you can find a link to and join in the description below. The players, I imagine, will be trying to sort out what this information means between now and next week, and you can help them with that as we go. In addition, you can contact me on Twitter at Dungeon Musing, or you can reach me by email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com. In addition, there's a link in the description of this video to the charity fundraising campaign that we're running on the channel. This is the SOS Children's Villages International, or benefits the SOS Children's Villages International campaign. Let me try it again. It's the Heroes Save Villages campaign that benefits the SOS Children's Villages International charity. You can find more information about the campaign and all the rewards that are available for donors. Last year, we successfully raised over $1,000 for the charity through the generosity of the players in the group and from the viewers at home. So we'd like to try and double that for this year. So if you did enjoy the session, if you did enjoy the content in the channel, I just ask you to consider clicking through and learning a little more about the charity campaign. And last but not least, I want to thank the stars of this session. So my players, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed rolling alertness check after alertness check after alertness check.
And the occasional accounting roll.
So a big thanks to Jeff, Dave, Hobbs, and Adam. Thanks so much for playing tonight, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun, Kev.
Thank
Cool.
you, Kev.
All right, guys. So until next time, for those listening at home, thank you so much for watching, and happy gaming.